Hi, and welcome back to this last segment of this Monday edition of Focal Point AFR Talk. Paul Ryan has been on the hot seat with the grievance mongers, the racial grievance mongers recently, because he said in a speech talking about inner city men, he wasn't talking about blacks, he was talking about inner city men. So they were kind of extending and extrapolating and painting the stereotype themselves. But Paul Ryan said correctly, the problem we have right now is inner city men not working and just generations of men not even thinking about working or learning the value and the culture of work. And so for saying that, he is pilloried as a racist. Now, Bill Maher had two guests on his program on Friday night, Center for American President Neera Tanden and comedian W. Kamau Bell. And so he's inviting them to react. And so he talks about what Ryan said and gets their reactions. And then he gives them another quote from somebody else, doesn't tell them who it's from, and asks them for their opinion. So here is clip one, where he's asking these hardcore progressive liberals their reaction to Paul Ryan's statement. Let's listen.
Paul Ryan said, we've got this tailspin of culture in our inner cities in particular of men not working and just generations of men not even thinking about working or learning the value and culture of work. And, you know, my conservative friends are always saying, you know, you guys, you see race in everything. Maybe we do. I'm asking honestly. Is this a case where he's just being honest and it's not about race, or are we seeing race here where it shouldn't be? Because that was the criticism, is that he was talking in code.
I will go ahead and say that there's race there, that he was talking about black people when he said that. He's talking about black and Latinos when he says it. Absolutely.
Okay, so absolutely racist. This wasn't, nobody's making assumptions here. This is just out and out racism. So here is clip two, where Bill Maher offers them another quote from another political figure and asks them for their opinion about how racist this person is.
Here's something else Paul Ryan said. He said, when it comes to getting an education, too many of our young people just can't be bothered. They're sitting on couches for hours playing video games, watching TV. Instead of dreaming of being a teacher or a lawyer or a business leader, they're fantasizing about being a baller or a rapper.
Or a comedian.
Oh, wait, that wasn't him. That was Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama said that.
No, I don't think this is a Republican.
Hush, silence.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think this is a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is a people issue.
Yeah, but you just called, Ryan a racist.
What?
You just called Ryan a racist.
Did I actually say he's a racist?
Basically.
No, I said he's talking about black people. There's no basically calling somebody racist.
Come on.
You're racist or you're not a racist.
I just read this, and you thought it was from Paul Ryan.
Because you told me it was.
For a reason. I'm just asking, is something less true if a white person says it about black people?
The truth is the truth and a lie is a lie. I'm not here to represent the side of, like, if black people say it, it's more true because black people said it.
No, but it does sound like Michelle Obama is agreeing with Paul Ryan. It does. This sounds more. This sounds even more like, hey, black people, don't be lazy.
So that's just fascinating to me. When they thought that statement was attributed to Paul Ryan, they're sitting around on their couches and playing Xbox instead of dreaming of being a teacher or a lawyer, fantasizing about being a baller or a rapper. When they thought Paul Ryan said it, they were all over it for how racist it is. Then when they found out it was Michelle Obama, there is this stunned silence. I mean, Bill Maher observed it. He referred to it as a hushed silence. So that was a pretty revealing moment. Now, let's go back. David Plouffe, clip number 2. Rob, David Plouffe, again, there is a kind of a mindless irrationality on the part of the left about Obamacare, because they cannot, it's impossible for them to admit the truth or tell the truth about Obamacare. This thing is a total absolute disaster. Where is that story about the 1.7%? Here we go. This is from Breitbart.com. Obamacare, the plan purportedly created to provide health coverage for the uninsured, has enrolled just 1.7% of America's 48.6 million uninsured. So we got 48.6 million Americans uninsured. Therefore, we have to completely destroy the healthcare system to get insurance to these 48.6 million people. And Obamacare so far has provided coverage for 1.7% of its goal, 1.7% of its target of getting 48.6 million Americans covered. The latest Associated Press poll finds that Obamacare has now hit an all-time low approval rating of just 26%. Now, here's how the numbers work. The White House now claims an Obamacare enrollment figure of 6 million people. However, according to the New York Times, at least 20% of those never paid their premiums to activate coverage, leaving them uninsured. That drops the number down to 4.8 million. Next, as Washington Post columnist Ed Rogers notes, the official HHS numbers still include duplicate enrollments. That's because people had to try 3, 4, 6 times to set up an account. All of those are counted as enrollments by the administration. No one knows how many duplicate enrollments are in the stack. The White House refuses to say. So they probably know, but it's a total embarrassment, so they're not saying. However, given the disastrous Obamacare website failures, it is reasonable to imagine that the pile is riddled with numerous false start applications. That leaves the most important question: how many people are gaining insurance who were previously uninsured? After all, that was the stated reason for Obamacare in the first place. McKinsey & Company says that only 27% of those who have picked a plan through Obamacare were previously uninsured. We brought you that statistic a couple of weeks ago. So all the people that are buying insurance, picking a plan, not buying it, but enrolling, we don't know if they actually bought it or not, of all the people that have enrolled in an insurance plan through Obamacare, only 27% of those people did not have insurance prior to enrolling. Moreover, McKinsey says these individuals have an unusually high rate of failing to pay their first month's premium. Only 53% of them had paid their first premium, compared with 86% of the previously insured. So you only got 27% of the people that are even enrolling in Obamacare were previously uninsured, and over half of them have not paid their first month's premium. So they're not covered. They don't have insurance. And Breitbart goes on, even conceding the White House its alleged 6 million enrollment figure, that would mean that just 810,000 of paying Obamacare customers, that's people that have not just enrolled but actually paid the first month's premium, only 810,000 of paying Obamacare customers were previously uninsured, a figure that represents 1.7% of America's 48.6 million uninsured people. So that is your Fisher factoid of the day. Only 1.7% of America's uninsured have gotten insurance through Obamacare. And this is the last day to do it. Now, they've extended it. They're saying, look, if you had problems with the website, we'll give you a couple of extra weeks. I mean, Oregon's had such a catastrophe. They put it out to the end of April. But this is basically the end of the road. Now, Rasmussen's out there saying, look, don't worry about this thing ever being implemented. There is no way in the world that Obama's actually going to fine people. Not going to happen. It's too unpopular. People are going to kick. They're going to scream. They're going to moan. Obama's going to find some way to waive the penalty for anybody that complains about it. But here is David Plouffe, clip number 2. He's a Democrat strategist, used to be in the Obama administration. We just talked to you about the reality of Obamacare. Listen to what he's saying.
The law is working. And this was a seminal achievement. You're going to have, by the way, if you count people who are going directly to private insurance companies, Medicaid, children's health care, you're talking well north of 10 million people have health care, tens of millions and more have security. And the politics of this are tough. They're always going to be. I think they'll get better over time. This law is working. And I think the Republican playbook of just repeal Obamacare, repeal Obamacare, repeal Obamacare gets tougher as more and more people get health care. And I think smart Republicans understand that.
So that's David Plouffe. The law is working, says it twice, despite the fact the website down for 4 hours today. Now here's Maria Bartiromo, clip number 3 on Fox News, talking to the CEO of Cleveland Clinic, one of the leading healthcare providers in the country. His name is Toby Cosgrove, and she's talking to him about the impact of Obamacare on those that actually deliver healthcare, like the Cleveland Clinic.
Right now with more from Dr. Toby Cosgrove, CEO and president of the Cleveland Clinic. Toby, let's talk a bit about the implications of this legislation. I mean, clearly you want to see more people having access to health care, but what about the cost? What are the actual implications to individuals and businesses that you see taking place?
Well, people who've signed up, about 3/4 of them find that their premiums are higher than they had been previously with other insurance. Now, what we do know is it's going to have major effect upon healthcare providers. We know, for example, that we're going to get paid less for what we do. Medicare is taking about $415 billion out of Medicare expenses over the next 10 years. So hospitals are going to be paid less for what they do. And we also know that insurers are paying less for what we do, too. So we have to become more efficient in how we deliver care, which is a big change for healthcare providers.
All right, so that's the CEO of Cleveland Clinic. And he's saying, look, 3/4 of the people who have signed up for Obamacare, 3/4 of them have found that their premiums are higher than they had previously with other insurance. And remember, President Obama told us over and over again is going to bring your health care premiums down by $2,500. CEO of Cleveland Clinic says it's the exact opposite. 3/4 of them are finding that their premiums are going up, and their co-pays are going up, and their deductibles are going up. And he says hospital reimbursements from the government, from Medicare, and even from insurance companies, because of the regulatory burden of Obamacare, are coming down. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means reduced access to health care services. Your premiums are going up. Your access to quality health care is going down. I give you the wonders of Obamacare. Well, here's a word for the rest of your day. May the God of peace soon crush Satan under your feet. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Bow low before God. Stand tall before man. Stand in the gap. Never forget, we're fighting a winnable war. See you tomorrow.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect